today's goal is pretty simple. We need some more money. So that is what we're going to be focusing on, and if time allows it, we will get started a little bit on the Venus build. Welcome back to one last turn. Welcome back to the Alchemy Factory One Plot Challenge. Last time we finally got our Panacea potions sort of up and running, and or not up and running, but we finally got the upgrade finished, so we are making a lot more of them. That also resulted in our coffers being pretty much completely empty, and we don't really have any buffered. Well, we have all the buffer, but we don't have any money in reserve. Luckily, I think we have some in our contract. That was floor too far. In our little contract setup here. Yeah, okay, 2,500. That definitely helps out. This setup here generates, I think, if we look at the ledger, we can also see it's not really been going that well for the last couple of days, but if we look, this generates about 72, which isn't, I mean, it's not like it's a lot, but it is completely free. It just runs off this advanced fertilizer, which is running anyway, and it's actually in a backlog, so we could upgrade this. We could do that, definitely, but, I mean, it's only gonna be a couple hundred extra, or maybe if we double it, that's 72 extra. Not sure how much we end up. Wholesale price is 12, which means we do 300, no, 600. So we could, yeah, we could double it and then a little bit more. So we could gain maybe like 100 silver extra, which of course, I mean, isn't that bad. It is gonna increase the costs of the advanced fertilizer, since that is currently not running at full capacity due to not being used, all of it. But that is a possibility. We'll see how much else we can sort of scrounge up. I think one of the things that I want to do, let's just throw this in here, see how long it lasts per se. Okay, so we did get a big sale or something that sort of spits out money too, which is nice. We did set the conversion amount to 2 because some of the things we were running couldn't follow along. It wasn't enough with just 1 on the rate there, so we had to upgrade it, which is also why the buffer is sort of drained a little bit. Anywho, let's go up to 7. Because what I'm thinking is we can reduce the amount of seeds that we're using for Paradox. You might be thinking, okay, then, well, what are we going to replace these seeds with? Well, it turns out we can use lavender. And that is pretty darn neat, seeing as how we can do that using growth potions. Now, this floor has been substantially redone with what's it called? The black powder being removed here from the mill, so we do have some space to work with. And I just wanna, just real quick, make this a little bit more seamless. Let's see here. should be able to get rid of these. Here. Which just makes it a little bit easier to almost, I don't know if it's easier to work with, but it's at least easier to look at. And we need some lavender, so let's just set up a quick I was gonna say grinder, but I guess we could just also just set down the nursery because we actually need the red currants that we have on us. Let's go, I think it's down 1, yeah, to 6. That's chamomile. Just switch this back here. That should give us some lavender. Up to 7. And the reason why I want to get it planted here is just so I can see. So the rate here is what it is. If I take a piece of lavender and I get rid of this guy here, and let's just say I'll put a box. Put a box down just temporarily. Put my singular piece of lavender in there. Let's see, what does that mean? It is 14.4, which is slightly better than this. And what we want is 120. So that is basically the same amount, right? We want 120 divided by 14.4, that's 8.3, which is practically the same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we're actually missing 2, it seems. Right? How does that work out? Brandy is the bottleneck here. Did we miss something? This doesn't really seem to be running. Oh, we forgot to put in... We shouldn't have taken away those blast potions, it seems. Let's just grab a few. We forgot to kickstart the furnaces. Which is, I mean, relatively important if you want them to run, seeing as how they're self-feeding, right? We definitely need to get them going in order to get any sort of coke powder out. Anywho, this needs to be 9. 14, that's 90, that's... Yeah, so that's 125 something, so that makes sense. Let's make room for it. We just need 1 lavender thingy. Let's make room. Let's redirect everything just a little bit. We'll change the pathing of everything just a little bit. And we can take 2 more. Do we have? We do have the... Nope, we're just short some steel. We don't have any steel on us. Okay. We can get rid of everything here. Don't want to go on to the next floor. There we go. that is gonna help us out some. And we do want that portal sigil, but these seeds we don't really care about. Now, instead, I was thinking we would just have. So we're gonna have. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then we can have our lavender over here. Pick that up. This one we can delete. This one. What do we have too much of that we don't really care for? Probably these large gears. Let's get the seats in here. There we go. We can delete this one. Okay, so we will take down just see here what is that is a outbound one, right? Because that is the blast potions. Let's just continue those like so. There we go. And the black powder's flowing like it should. And then we need to get those growth potions down here somewhere. Let's see, like that probably. We'll just take them like so. And we might as well just throw these ones in there to begin with. And then of course we take out the lavender. That's what I thought. Need to have 4 high scaffolding, which isn't a problem. Get in our lavender. And that, I mean, that just takes what, like 30 growth potions per minute, which, I mean, granted is a lot of growth potions, and maybe we should bring down panacea potions for it. Maybe we should up the growth potions for it, but either way, whichever sort of fertilizer we end up using for this is going to be a lot more efficient than running those seeds for sure. We can see here we're spending like 1,300 seeds now, and I'm pretty sure that's like, it's a decent amount less than the day before at least. A ledger. Yeah, we spent almost 3,000 on the day before. We still lost a lot of money though, because we didn't have any Mars sales. Gotta go check on the Mars, make sure that is running properly. But at least we got some reduction there. We should be able to reduce the salt as well once the panacea is fully buffered. Let me see, I just want to change this really quickly. There we go. Now that one is connected as well. Cool, cool, cool. And now we just need two things, of course. We need to bring out the product, so to speak. Otherwise, it's not really going to do anything. We are close to a full belt now, which is amazing. We just gotta get that last piece of coal steel. So let's go grab that, and then let's go grab or look at our Mars. Make sure that is running, and then we'll look at this was not steel. I think it's on 2 maybe, and then we'll look at this isn't connected, right? Yeah, I think this is just a leftover sort of for blueprint purposes. Let's just get rid of that. Make some room. Get some steel. There we go. But yeah, after Mars, we will take a look at the other part of the panacea that also uses seeds for paradox, and we'll replace that with a thingy as well. Steel gears are being underproduced. This should be a full belt. It is not getting enough fuel because it's running on coke powder. Which, I mean, should be fine, but I guess it's not. We can get rid of these extra ones. We could upgrade the coke powder. We were just down there. Didn't seem necessary, but I mean we can do it if necessary. Didn't seem it was necessary earlier. I wouldn't have thought it'd be necessary, but I guess we can do it. It's a little difficult in that we already do a full build, I'm pretty sure. So it's just being eaten, but we could look into that. We could also switch to blast potions. But those are currently not moving past the 8th floor, and we are supposedly using them all for panacea. We could add this to panacea. That could be a thing. But then we sort of just create more buffer that needs to be filled, which isn't an issue per se, it's just an issue right this second. I do have some black powder on me that I could sort of fill in temporarily. And some blast potions. Could do that. Just temporarily fill this up and see how that goes. I'll take these 2 Marses and throw down to be sold. That should help a little bit as well. And when we do that, we might as well also just check if there's any quests. Check how the money stockpile is holding up. And before we go back upstairs, we do have a little bit of money on us, which is nice. We can put down some Marses, which might do something. We have an urgent request for Venus, which we can't fulfill right now. We don't have these kinds of gems. This is Venus as well, and this one contains emeralds, which aren't making either, so no quests that we can do. We are sort of behind when it comes to the quests or the jewelry that the quest requires, because we went all the way down to the last sort of chapter. We are full on the buffer for the coins though, so that's really good, with some money in the bank waiting, so that's really good. Yeah, let's head to 7, get that last Paradox Crucible set up, and then we'll move up to, I think it's 8 or 9, to get the other Paradox Crucible set up to use lavender. And then of course we should check out our growth potions, make sure they aren't being completely utilized. Oh yeah, so it was one down. Just while we're here, let's check out, make sure that everything here is running. This guy isn't. So throw 2 into there, that should do it. I don't know if we did decouple this, so that makes sense why these weren't getting anything. These aren't running though, which is an issue. We should definitely get some buffer up there. There was some buffer sort of building up. We can just use that for now. We're down to 8. And these Paradox Crucibles, which are running on money, which we would like to avoid. So let's just take all of those out. Not in the height. Yeah, there we go. That's some money left over, which is fine. We'll take those. And then we just need a lavender nursery. So it would be best if it could be here, but then it'll take money, which obviously it can't really feed off of money. Guess we could move everything 1 over so there would be room for it. We do still also have these 2 here around the back. That we need to get input for. And we're auto-saving. See where we can fit that nursery It is really only possible to have it there, so let's move everything over by 1. Okay, let's not go all the way there. Just here should be fine. Some growth potions. Take those. We'll get our nursery, and we can take the output up here and around and into there, and that should sort of take care of all of that. Then we just have to get money to go where it was going before, like that, no issue. And then there was something here. This is panacea potions, so that needs to go in like so. And this isn't really, I mean, it isn't necessary, but there doesn't need to be anything there. And then we have growth potions like that, and those we should be able to just take off right there. And now with 60 extra, we probably need to get upgrading on growth potions again. We should at least check and make sure that it is gonna be going okay. However, we could also, instead of growth potions, we do have the panacea potions right there. So let's just grab one of those, or a couple of those. That should be just fine. And we just gotta get another piece of lavender down on 6 here. Well, another set of seeds. It's more correct, I guess. And there we go. So that is gonna make 120, and we are doing, how many are we doing? We're doing 9 here as well. Why 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yep, doing 9 or 8.35 for the full build. Did seem like panacea potions have stopped coming down here, which isn't good. So we gotta go back upstairs, make sure everything is working. But we are getting Oblivion essences here again, which was what we wanted. They stopped producing because Aquavitae stopped producing. No, because fertile catalysts aren't arriving. But we had so many of those. Why aren't they arriving? Where they're supposed to come in here. From there, from there, from there, from here, and they aren't. Because we don't have any unstable catalysts, okay. Because we don't have any gloom spores, okay. And why is that? Is that because we don't have any fuel in the furnaces? It is. Let's grab 3 more panacea potions then. Make sure these furnaces are fueled. Can't have it stopping. That is for certain. But we do need to sort of do the buffering semi-individually, which is why it isn't currently sending anything over here due to a stop that's put in place there. I mean, the buffering at least to downstairs seems to be good. See, did that help with Mars's? Did we get some Mars's sold? We did get some Mars's sold. How is the... So the... I mean, of course it's been turned off, so that definitely helps a bit, but we did reduce for sure the seeds. Coal is very high, and salt is very high. Still in negative. Let's check out the growth potions and every other kind of salt build and see if there's anything we can do there, and we'll also check for if there's anything we can do with the coal. But this at least is going to save us a lot of seeds. And hopefully we will... Just gonna try and see how much. Yeah, so it's like close to a minute and a half with panacea potions. So that that should be okay, I think. Okay. Floor 9C, are we producing yet? Aren't, but they are starting to arrive, the fertile catalysts now. Not a full belt yet, but maybe soon. It is close at least. We are starting to get some potions going out, good. And then if we check on 7, they were going down here, and they're going down further, but they're not. They're cut off. Whoops, cut off currently. That is for the buffer down here, which, I mean, this really burns for a very long time, so it's not entirely necessary. I want to see 17, how that's doing. Then I want to see growth potions. Maybe we'll do growth potions first, because that is definitely closer by, is what I was gonna say. I mean, it is fully backlogged. We are spending salt from here, which we do sort of want to avoid. So let's take that off and see if it's not able to keep up still with the brine that we are producing on the top floor. Hope so, certainly. That's running, and the nursery for chamomile isn't running. We did stop the buffering from here, but it is completely buffered, so let's definitely get that going. This is doesn't need buffering yet, but let's get that going for sure. We should hopefully see that the brine is enough. Although we are gonna need to increase it, I do believe, when... Yeah, we need brine for this. We do need to increase it eventually, but for now, for the Venus, for now we can wait a little bit. Okay, so then I just want to go through our setups. Floor 3 is probably too far down. Try and see where we're spending all that coal. Mars is definitely a huge consumer. This is not really. Then we have 4, which is not. Then we have 5, which is our growth potions. They are starting to slack a little bit. It's not that backlogged anymore. So question is if we do need to increase the setup. We'll have to keep a little more of an eye on it. That is definitely a possibility. That will be necessary. Then it's probably... Whoops, we did skip a floor there. Nothing here. I'm thinking it's probably the brandy then, because we do use quite a lot of coal coke powder for that. We do need quite a lot of brandy. So we're doing 6 here, we're doing 10 upstairs, so that's close to at least 16,000, which is close to, or it is 16. I just seem we're a little bit bottlenecked on what? Is it coke powder? Might be, I'm not sure. Oh no, it's the brandy output, so that's fine. But 16 belts of coke powder, which requires... So that's 16 coal per minute, basically. I looked to see if there's any sort of good recipes with the cauldron, and there aren't really for coke powder or for coke. So I'm not sure if we can actually reduce that cost that significantly, or maybe I just missed something. If you saw or know of any sort of recipe with the new recipes, then feel free to let me know, and I will definitely try and incorporate it. That would be advantageous for sure. Okay. Things are running. It's not so smoothly here, to be honest. It's the lavender that's lacking. Why is that? Oh, it's the fuel for these ones that I haven't connected. That definitely makes it difficult. That is for sure. My bad. I wonder... This is just gonna be here forever. It's just gonna fill up, isn't it? Yeah, that's... Oh well, that is how it is. And that is fine. But hopefully, with some fuel coming in there at some point, which isn't now, I guess. We do have some panacea potions though, so we can just start them ourselves. And then they will be ready for when we hook that up. They are flowing again, the potions, which is nice. And how is this doing? This is doing perfect. It is backed up and stuff, which is great. And this is backed up as well, which is great. So we will be getting a backlog throughout this soon. And when that happens, we can just connect the Gloom's rooms and the furnaces here. And then with this upgrade of the lavender, then the only seeds that we're using is going to be for this, the gloom spores. We could, I'm pretty sure you can do, I mean, you can either do lavender, it's either lavender instead of the sage seeds, or it's 2 lavender and 1 chamomile. So we could do that, but I think we still need the extra to get to the unstable catalyst, so we'll need extra nurseries for that. As far as I could tell with calculations, the gain isn't there, it just trades off. I mean, so it's there in the sense that we don't spend the money, we'll just spend potions, but we'll have less potions to use for other stuff. So if you assign a value to the potions, which I mean honestly you do, and we should probably also try and sell some of them at least eventually, then that doesn't really become what's it called? It's not feasible in the long term. No more backlog on growth potions we can see, so maybe we should hook it up. No, I mean yes, but would prefer a backlog on growth potions, to be honest. So I guess we are going to do 2 things. Once we're done looking through the floors here. Okay. That looks fine, and then we have up here, of course, the issue of the gears not being made in a satisfactory tempo. So maybe we should let's upgrade growth potions and coke powder. I think it's probably easier than going and hooking up panacea potions. But we did at least increase this a little bit, so there could also be something to say about manually adding 16 panacea potions to these furnaces and seeing it run for however long that would be. I mean, they're using 1 per second. No, that's because we're out of raw materials. And how are we out of raw materials? Is that because these aren't? No, it's the coke powder. Did I miscalculate the coke powder rates? We're doing 120 on this side, and each of them need 30. So that should be right. And now it's no, it doesn't run out of coke powder. How does it run out of coke powder? Let's see here. Saturn, good. Mars, good. Good earnings. No, we're still using a ton of seeds. I mean, we would be using less seed or more seeds if we hadn't turned those off, but I guess with the upstarting of the gloom spores, we are using a lot, but then when they start buffering, that will sort of go down, hopefully, otherwise we'll be running out of money right about this second. Oh, and this isn't really the best design for figuring out what is wrong. These do also have issues with fuel, which is obviously the issue. Because if these don't get fuel, then they don't burn any coke, and they don't burn any iron, and then they'll run out of coke. Yeah, these burn 65, sorry. And how about this one? That burns 55. And a panacea potion is what? 200 and something thousand. So that's like... That's hours, I think. Like, let's just say it's 220,000. And then divided by 65, that's... 3,000 seconds. Which is what, like 50 minutes? So that should be, and I think the panacea potions are actually worth more. Yeah, heat, it's 400k, 440k, so that'll be like an hour and a half. So let's just go do that. See if we can grab some somewhere. I wanna increase growth potions. I wanna increase. Yeah, let's just do growth potions first here. That does require us to get some more brine, which is fine. We would be needing that eventually anyways. This floor up here has buffered nicely. do need chamomile, sage, and flax seed. Chamomile and sage and flax. Chamomile, and then we have sage, and then we have flax. Let's just, no, I was just about to say, let's just take away this extra buffering. There's no reason for that. That'll give us some more brine. Let's just hook these extra ones up as well, extra thermals. And then we are doing 14,400 brine. This seems like a wrong number, 25k. Don't think we're doing that. We're doing 3.6, so that's 7.2, 14.4. Oh, I guess we are doing 25,000. How are we doing over here? Plenty of stuff left. I think I'm just gonna grab the ones that I wanted here. Let's get those 24. But this amount of extra brine should be enough for getting some more growth potion. Let's see if we can't figure some of this out. I would like a box though. Just so I can split this more easily. This side is going to be difficult. I'm not sure if I can get in there. I would have to take out this wall here. No! God damn it. Of course. Let's call the elevator. And see if there's a new order we can do. There is not. That is not surprising. We still have money, which is a little bit surprising. I wasn't expecting that, but that is really good news. Means we're doing something right at least. Some of those paradoxes weren't running there. We should definitely check that out. There we go. A guy for him, and let's put that wall back up. There we go. And same for the furnaces on this side. This will at least create what should be a significant backlog. Of cooked powder. Okay, so down to, what was it, 7? Let's start with 8. That also has paradox crucibles. These aren't running because these are backfilled, which is fine. How about these? These are running. These aren't completely filled up because these aren't running anymore because we ran out of growth potion. So let's just... Oh, and there's not any fuel left either. That's quite surprising. It really burns through that panacea potion rather quickly, even just with a couple of cauldrons. How does it do that? I guess it does do 400. But we will throw in... Come on. There we go. We'll throw in some panacea potions into some of these guys here. Also for sort of a temporary backfill. I was just about to say, it seems like this stopped again, but obviously that is completely tied to the fertile catalyst. So yeah, they need to be both running. Where are we going? We're going for growth potion. That is the... I mean, it's not necessarily a bottleneck, but it definitely needs to be... let's go to 7. Because that is probably why these aren't running, right? Yeah, we don't have the growth potions necessary. I'm just gonna throw in a singular panacea potion that I just happen to have on me. Okay. Probably should have grabbed my stuff. We know it's up there on 17. Growth potions. We should be able to... That wasn't it. It's down on 5. Should be able to get some thrown in here. We should have... I was about to say we should have more than enough brine, but it's not really filling up on brine, which is odd to say the least. Because we're producing twice the amount needed here. So why aren't these pipes just full? What else is using... I don't think anything else is using brine. We can check, I guess. Brine is used for growth potions and sulfuric acid, and the sulfuric acid isn't running right now, so it's just growth potions. So why isn't these pipes being filled? Odd. Oh well, I was thinking to dismantle this guy here, this salt setup, and just build some more of this over here. What are we doing? We're doing 80, so we can throw 2 more onto the belt. So I think that is what we're gonna do. Let's get that. And of course we got a bunch of rock salt and sand that we don't really care about. Could probably run it or use it or something, but can't really be bothered. Oh, we got it. Okay, let's just make a box. Let's just make a box. course there's so many. There was only 10. Interesting. I guess there was some buffering. I mean, I know there was, but... Okay, we have some boxes. Cool, cool, cool. Cool, cool, cool. Then let's take... I guess we don't need this money buffer here. I mean, it's not that it's hurting anybody, but we are a little low on cash, so might as well take it. Get rid of these pipes here for now, at least. We will take... Is this just running through on a belt or something? I think I did do that. It does seem like I did. So we gotta make sure to just take from here. And then sort of this kind of setup. No, one more. That seems to be it. And of course then we also need just these pieces here. Okay, how is we doing now? Yeah, that's better for sure on the seeds. It's better on the salt. Coal is still quite expensive, and we aren't breaking even, but we're spending a lot less money, which is good. And if we were to sell some panacea potions, which we hopefully will eventually when we get some backlog, then that should work out fine. Additionally, we should be able to get Venuses soon, which sell for 10 gold, which also helps out a ton, of course. We could go for those extra bandages and get the sort of just the bridge the last little gap here if we wanted to as well. Because we need some glass, we need some rope for this build. So let's get that down on first. We can also see if there's any quests, and we can drop off some of this extra money that we picked up. Some glass, and rope is on 2, but how about this fertile cat? I mean, it's 100, doesn't really matter. Get some rope. There we go. And then we go to 5. Yes. Oh, there was also not important. Then we will take out these 2 guys here. Let's see there, and we will ER. Like invalid position. Why? Why is it invalid? How's there not room behind? Oh. How do they do that? How do I do that on here? I guess we missed a couple. That is That's fine, we're just gonna have to manually add that guy. Yes, some buildings have errors. That is fine. Just have to... wait, what? That doesn't add up. Oh, because this guy doesn't need to be there. Okay, so it is a... it's just nursery. Just a simple nursery on some platforms. I guess I left all of my seeds upstairs. So we gotta get the growth potions down to there, and the fuel needs to go in there. And that should do it, except we need a flax, 2 flax, and 2 red currants. 2 flax and 2 red currants. Oh, and of course we need some pipes. So let's take care of those first. There we go, that's the pipes. And then we just need 2 flax, 2 red currant. And I think we have that up on floor 17, just waiting for us. Sage and chamomile, okay. Guess it wasn't here, but we do have some flax seeds laying there. How about on 10 maybe we even made a box? Yeah, it seems to be here. There we go. That is that. Can we take... nope. Can we take all? We can't. Let's just get rid of that. There we go, and go back to 5. And then we'll go to 7, I believe, is the one that was under... I mean, not utilized, but I was trying to create a buffer, but couldn't. So this is flax, and this is flax. And this is red currant, and this is red currant, and then we need to bridge the gap there. For those, very good, very good, and we're starting to get some clay. No chamomile, that needs to be kick-started, I guess. And also it needs to... send in some like that then. No brine. clay powder on this one. No red currant on this one. Right, because I didn't do the conveyors. Wait, how does these get... No, that wasn't it. That's it, but how does it get... gets that, the fertilizer gets that from in front of here. Like that it does. Cool. Then we can bridge that gap up here. Wonderful. And that should send, yep, some clay into this one as well. This one still doesn't have any brine, which I really don't understand, so we gotta get up and check on that brine, because we're only using, right, it's 32, 64, and what, 96? 6 times 1600. Up to 17, I guess. It does not seem like we'll be able to get much work done with the actual Venus build, but I mean, this is all necessary. If the factory doesn't have any money, if it doesn't have any backlog of anything, it's never gonna happen, so that part makes perfect sense. It doesn't seem to be fully utilizing each of these. It's supposed to be 30 salt. Oh, and they're not being properly moved. Wait, what is this? That is such a weird way to do it. I totally messed that up somehow. Okay, so that is fine. And then we need to do this from here, and this. I have no idea. If you caught that, maybe let me know the timestamp in the video where I'm doing this. Maybe let me know so I can see what the what the heck I did there. That is so silly. I mean, it's just that side that's just broken. Goes up fine there on all the sides. So it's just the salt going down that was wrong. That's silly. And weird. It does mean the panacea consumption is going to increase a bit, but I mean, it does seem like our buffer is pretty good at this point. So I'm not too concerned. Seeing it's only the chamomile that it's gonna really be affected, right? Because these do like 5,000 seconds on a single potion, and this is just 250, which is what, like 4 minutes? So yeah, I think we'll be good. Then we can go back to the growth potions, I guess, just to make sure that the brine was flowing properly. And hopefully that is enough. We did add 40 extra, and there was a backlog before we added the one that consumes 30, so it should be fine. But it does have to fill a little bit of a backlog. But we are doing a full belt now, it seems. Very nice. And yeah, these pipes are starting to fill up. Very nice. That also explains why it wasn't good enough earlier. Even when we were manually filling it. I just hadn't really noticed that. Cool. We are doing better here. It's a more steady flow. It is full right now, so I think I think we're fine. I think we're fine with that, which means we'll be fine with blast potions. And just to be safe, let's see if we aren't fine here as well. We at least are getting finite catalyst for sure, but the unstable ones are starting a little bit slow. We are getting growth potions for the chamomile though, so it is just the furnaces that need to be having a more steady supply of fuel. So I guess that will be the next. That will be the next buffer that we use, or that we fill up. But once that is full, then we should be pretty good to go. As far as I can tell. And this is just because of backfill. This is empty, but we do have a bit of a buffer in World's Relief, so I think we should be fine until that sort of catches up. This one doesn't have any fuel, which could also be an issue. Let's also add that to the buffer. Cool. Let's see, how does that harmonize with our good amount of seeds? Better on coal even, which is nice, I guess. Not quite sure why it has reduced, but I am not one to complain. Not as many Marses, unfortunately, but that should. It's gonna be okay. Can't really do much about this because that is the Saturn's. Yeah, so I think we're in a much better place now, and hopefully we'll be able to get Venus's set up next time, such that we can start selling those and get some of our money that is currently tied in Panacea Potions, get some of that back. We do have like 10-ish minutes, or I guess we have 15, because this is the last in-game day. So we do have 15 minutes to like left, and maybe we just get started with the easier parts, like the healing potion, the vitality potion, or actually, you know what? Let's go down to 3. Let's take our bandages and scale that up. Let's do that. Let's scale that up on a, I was gonna say on a different floor, but I don't really want to go to a different floor because I do want to use the Advanced fertilizers. Can we... I mean, we can stack this. Question is just the exact sort of way to do that. Especially getting the fertilizer. Well, getting the fertilizer out there isn't that bad. We can just loop it back. That's fine. Do need to grind it. Which complicates things. The current setup, for sure. We only need one or two sets of grinders. That helps. In that we can then do this. That gets it onto the grinders. Get them off the grinders there. Get them over there. Don't flip them around. Take it down like that. Don't think we can... No, we would need a... Can't do a 2x2 on top of an assembler. We do need a 3x3 if we wanted to do that. It's 240. Each is doing... Yeah, so we do need sort of a second assembler. Which I mean we do have room for. We scale them this way. Do we have room for one more on top? We do, just barely. Because then we can... Then we can do it on a vertical basis, like 3 processors vertically becomes one side of an assembler. Can do that. Question is... That's not too bad. getting... That last processor does have to be a lot higher up. Let's see, where do we want it? This is correct. This guy, though, is sort of in the way if we want to run. How do we handle that? Yeah, I guess we don't have to. This is a fine height. Then we just need to have that like so. So we can do that just to be consistent. Use 1 steps. And then we use 2 steps afterwards. Then we get sort of this same setup, but like that. On the front here. Out like so, and we will have this running here for fertilizer. Then we will have another set of these running up here. Oops. Set here for fertilizer. Okay, let's just get rid of these 2 here. They should be entirely replaceable by what we just built. If we can just get this to the fertilizer to the right height. I mean, we probably need to do that 1 more, 2 more over. Otherwise, we won't be able to get it upstairs as well. that takes care of the raw materials, hopefully, once we get the, not the chamomile, stop, the flax seeds, which I didn't have, or don't have on me. Flax seed and flax seed. There, and then the top one here. We can add in from this side here. Let's just get rid of some of all of these sort of useless items. Cool. That keeps that going. And then we just need to do that again and also get 4 more flax seeds. Let's just go down to 1, grab a little bit of money, and get 4 more flax seeds the manual way. That seems probably easiest. And we have just a few more minutes left of the day. So I am going to get rid of these. Pouches here. Then we will take this whole setup. Maybe not, we don't need that part, and we probably need to flip sort of the front here, but that is okay. So let's get rid of that line, and then like so. That should, assuming everything is connected up properly. We are missing those connections there in the back. Just for the flax, the grinded flax. Let's get rid of the walls here. That's probably the easier way. Oh, and coal is down again for some reason. We're in profit. Way! Hey, let's go. Let's go. That's what we wanted. Very nice. Now we'll just grab a little bit more profit while we can. That is, let's just do it like that. That's easier. There we go. Don't need this flax fiber. Don't want that ugly thing. There we go, and that is good. Now let's just flip the outputs here. guess we could just do it on both sides. However, no, we can't because we do need this to go in here, so we can't do it on both sides. We could just, we can save a space here. There we go. That should... to 140, and this is 44, so yeah, that should be one full belt. That is gonna increase it a little bit, and then of course we do need another one, which we are going to place, I was gonna say here, but okay, so no room for that, I guess. Place him here, then we'll do another assembler right here. And how do we get... let's see, what does this do? This is gonna do 12, which is one more of these guys. So we will do this. And I know that we are slightly over time, but I just want to finish this up. Here. Oh, damn it. Is this anything we can do? No, it's not. I do hope you enjoyed this episode, even though we didn't get to make it all the way to Venus. We are in a much better place to be able to do so next time, which I am really excited about. We're going to be using that health potion setup that we are just about to copy here in a second as well. Let's see here. That was fine, and then we need, this needs to be drawn back once. Then we just need a one up there as well to get to the top ones. There we go. Cool, that should increase a bit. We should be needing, like, what's that? That's 24 times 3. Each of these are 20, I believe. So let's just grab, I guess we do need a flax and a sage for that to work, but that is a-okay. We just gotta connect that into there. They will will be shared. That is perfect. And we should be getting a bit more money from bandages. Just with a flax and a sage seed. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, please leave a like and some comments. It really helps me out with the algorithm, so more people can discover the videos and the channel, and that's going to be more fun for me, and it's going to be more fun for you in the long term as well. If I'm having fun, you're having fun, right? Isn't that? I don't know if that's the thing, but I mean, I'm sure it is. Anyways, I would very much appreciate it. It would be very nice. Oh, I did have some. I have sage on me already. Cool. Yeah. Of course, subscribe to the channel if you enjoy the content. Want to watch more content like this? I play many different types of games. Many other games. Same sort of type of games. Sort of factory strategy, logistics types things. So yeah, thanks so much, and I'll see you in the next one where we finally get Venus up and running. I'll see you in the next one. I wish we could have just one last turn though.